look at Floyd. Like Floyd spends money like it's a tap. Like he's got a tap, just like unlimited amount of money. Money's just flowing. And even as much money as he's made in his career, which he's probably made as much, if not more money than any boxer ever. Like there's all these lawsuits. Like he hasn't been paying things and he owes money on this and owes money on that. And it's like, and then he's got to come out of retirement.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. I think it's just the lifestyle that Floyd lived.
Yes.
I think he can't fathom to just live a modest lifestyle. It's like he got to be lavish.
Right. He's got to have those videos where he shows you all the watches, where he opens the case up, you know.
All the money. He got to show that he got $1 million in his backpack. And, you know, he got the latest watch and the latest car and look what I just bought.
And when you get into latest watches and latest cars, you get into that, like, boy, that money goes quick.
Yeah.
Bugattis are like 3 million. There's watches that are 3-5 million. That's crazy. So you buy a watch and a car, you're down 10. That's nuts.
Joe Rogan didn't exactly stay quiet when Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s massive real estate claims came up. In fact, he leaned into the conversation and bluntly said, "Hold on, that math doesn't add up."
And one of the reasons why people watch him fight is not because he's like Mike Tyson, just goes out and destroys people. They like watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit. And he's like, look at my $1 million watch. Look at my jet. Look at my house. Look at this. He's constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed. Like this is $1 million worth of watches. This watch goes for $2 million. And they're like, this is my small watch that I take sometimes. But when I'll show you, when I'll show up, I bring out the big boy and it brings out this watch that's covered in diamonds. It's like $5 million. And so you hate him.
$1.4 million in jewelry debts that Floyd owes like hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for a private New York apartment. His private jet fuel, he's not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fuel and maintenance. He put up one of his jets that I think he even sold, but one of his jets and I want to say one of his properties, like one of his homes, up as collateral for a $54 million loan from an individual, from a billionaire that had a 9% interest on the...
Rogan questioned the entire narrative around Floyd's wealth, especially the claims that he owns dozens of buildings worth tens of millions. He pointed out that flashy statements and verified assets are two very different things.
Money to the IRS. How much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to pay.
Neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this. He makes so much money. There's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congrats.
And that's where things start getting interesting. Floyd built the entire Money Mayweather persona around the idea of limitless wealth, stacks of cash, luxury watches, and an untouchable financial empire. But reports circulating in the business world suggest the real picture might be far more complicated.
Floyd Mayweather is made, and because he's the best in the history of pay-per-view at making sure that the money ends up in his pocket. He is, or has been, a businessman as an athlete that almost doesn't have a peer because he owns all his own stuff as an independent. Your spending has to be so fiscally irresponsible to lose the amount of money that Floyd Mayweather has lost that it is almost beyond anything that is reason. It's not merely fiscal insanity. It's something that doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. And another sign of him maybe in financial trouble is, as of February 2026, Floyd Mayweather has initiated a massive $340 million lawsuit against Showtime Networks and former executive Steven Espinoza. So he's trying to get some bread right now.
The estimate is that he made over $1.2 billion over the course of his career in just earnings from fights.
According to Business Insider, 2 of Mayweather's commercial properties have already faced foreclosure. There were also reports that his Las Vegas strip club building risked being seized due to unpaid property taxes. Add to that lawsuits claiming unpaid luxury watch and jewelry bills, claims Floyd has denied. And suddenly the conversation shifts from bragging rights to serious financial scrutiny.
Things that they said in this article were insane. That Floyd owes like $1.4 million in jewelry debts, that Floyd owes like hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for a private New York apartment. His private jet fuel, he's not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fuel and maintenance. He put up one of his jets that I think he even sold, but one of his jets and I want to say one of his properties, like one of his homes, up as collateral for a $54 million.
The outlet also reported that 2 Trump Las Vegas condos were temporarily seized for unpaid taxes before being returned after a payment was made. At the same time, a massive $54 million loan reportedly used his homes, private jet, and businesses as collateral. Whether it's exaggeration or misunderstanding, the gap between Floyd's money image and these reports has definitely sparked debate. Rogan's skepticism about Floyd's financial empire already had people questioning things. Then Chael Sonnen jumps into the discussion like someone grabbing the microphone and deciding subtlety is overrated. Chael basically looks at the whole "Is Floyd broke?" headline and asks, "Why are we acting like this is shocking?"
What's wrong with that? And why are we attempting to tease Floyd? Is Floyd Mayweather? Yes, he's broke. Of course he's broke. He's a boxer. Did they say he can't read? That's not to tease him. They say that he can't read. His best friend at the time said that he can't read, and he never denied it. I don't tease him for it. He was a guy who grew up in a boxing gym, right? It's one of these things. You know what you know. You know what you were taught. They didn't teach him about contracts. They didn't teach him about saving. They didn't teach him about investments. Who would have taught him these things? Of course he's broke.
He flips the question back on the audience, saying if regular people wake up and go to work every week because they need money, why would it be strange for a boxer to keep fighting for the same reason? It's classic Sonnen logic, half brutal honesty, half trolling. But he keeps going, challenging the mythology around boxing paydays. He argues that those billion-dollar earnings and massive pay-per-view numbers often come from promotional claims rather than publicly verified financial records. When he says that nobody from the companies actually processing the pay-per-views has confirmed those giant figures, it shakes up years of boxing hype narratives.
You got baby mamas all over the... What do you mean is he broke? Of course he's broke. What boxer do you know that isn't broke? What a ridiculous question. But it's the fact that they're attempting to tease him. I mean, first off, they're asking the question. Look, I've told you in the face, the numbers that you hear in boxing simply aren't true. Floyd made $1 billion. No, he didn't. Floyd and Conor made $500 million. No, they didn't. Of course they didn't. Nobody's ever confirmed that. And it's the same thing with the check. I got $100 million for a fight. Oh, you did? Who signed the check? Whoever signed is going to want credit for it. There's never been a time that $1 million check was written and the dude that wrote the check didn't make sure that somebody found out he wrote the check. So who wrote the check? Floyd's got a whole bunch of them, apparently. He got $1 billion. Who wrote the check?
At the same time, Sonnen isn't just targeting Floyd. He's questioning the entire financial storytelling in combat sports. Then he pivots to the chaos surrounding fight contracts, explaining how Floyd announcing multiple fights around a potential matchup with Mike Tyson would drive any promoter crazy. In the fight business, timing and exclusivity are everything.
And I'm only sharing with you, like, the numbers aren't what you think they are, right? The numbers are good and they made a lot of money, but it's not what you think it is. And yeah, of course Floyd's broke. Would you be boxing if you weren't? And it's very tough to be sympathetic